In a tiny, cheerful village nestled between rolling green hills and sparkling streams, life moved at a gentle, happy pace. The sun always seemed to shine just a little brighter here, and laughter echoed through the winding cobblestone streets. In this special place lived a boy named Laith. Now, Laith wasn't just any kid. He had a wild mop of hair, a twinkle in his eye, and a heart full of curiosity. Laith had a superpower. He could spot a beautiful cake from a mile away. Whether it was a birthday party, a bakery window, or a picnic in the park, if there was cake, Laith would find it. He loved the swirly icing, the colorful sprinkles, and the way each cake seemed to promise a new adventure with every bite. But most of all, Laith adored that magical smell when a cake is fresh out of the oven, the warm, sweet aroma that filled the air and made his mouth water in anticipation. But Laith wasn't content with just eating cakes. Nope, he wanted to know what made them so special. What secrets were hidden in every delicious crumb. One sunny afternoon, as golden light streamed through the kitchen window, Laith made a big decision. He wanted to bake his very own cake, from scratch, all by himself. So, with a burst of excitement, Laith marched into the kitchen, ready for action and adventure. He felt like a real chef about to create something magical. He grabbed a big mixing bowl and started gathering all the essentials. Flour as soft as clouds, light and powdery, perfect for making a cake that would melt in your mouth. Next came the sugar, sparkling in the sunlight like tiny crystals. Laith imagined each grain adding a touch of sweetness to his creation. He reached for the freshest eggs and creamy golden butter, knowing these would make his cake rich and delicious. And for a twist he added a little bit of cheese, just enough to make his cake extra special, with a flavor all his own. But Laith wasn't alone. His mom was right there beside him, ready to help if things got sticky, or if he needed a little advice. She smiled, proud of his determination. First, Laith measured out the flour with careful hands. No mess-ups allowed. He wanted every scoop to be just right so his cake would rise perfectly. Then he scooped the sugar, making sure not to spill a single grain, and sprinkled it into the bowl with a satisfied grin. He cracked the eggs with a little giggle, feeling proud when the yolks landed perfectly in the bowl, no shells in sight. Next, he poured in the milk, watching it swirl and mix with the other ingredients, making the batter smooth and creamy. Then came the butter, soft and golden, melting into the mix and making everything smell even more delicious. Laith stirred and stirred, singing his favorite song as the batter got thicker and yummier. He imagined he was on a cooking show, showing everyone how to make the perfect cake. When everything was ready, Laith poured the gooey batter into cake molds. Some were round, some were shaped like little stars, and each one felt like a tiny work of art. Into the oven they went. Laith watched through the glass as the cakes began to rise, their tops turning golden and puffy. Now all Laith could do was wait, and sniff the air as the delicious sweet smell started to fill the house. The minutes ticked by slowly, but the anticipation made it all the more exciting. Ding! The cakes were done. The oven timer rang out like a bell at a festival, and Laith's heart leapt with joy. Laith carefully took them out of the oven and, wow, they were golden, fluffy, and perfect. He could hardly believe he'd made them himself. His mom dusted them with snowy powdered sugar, and the cakes looked like sparkling treasures, ready to be discovered and enjoyed. Laith couldn't wait to share them. He arranged the cakes on a big plate, feeling a mix of excitement and pride. He called his mom and dad to the table, his eyes shining with excitement. He wanted them to taste the magic he'd created. They each took a bite, savoring the soft, sweet cake, and letting the flavors melt on their tongues. And then, as if by magic, their faces lit up with the biggest, happiest smiles Laith had ever seen. "What delicious cakes, Laith, you are a talented chef," they said, their voices full of pride and love. Laith felt so proud. He'd created something wonderful, and shared it with the people he loved most. It was more than just cake. It was a memory they'd cherish forever. And as they all enjoyed their cakes together, laughing and telling stories around the table, Laith knew this was just the beginning of his delicious cake journey. Who knows what he'll bake next? Maybe a chocolate mountain, a rainbow layer cake, or even a cake shaped like a dragon. For Laith, the world of baking was full of endless possibilities, and his adventure was only just beginning.